Tesla stock is continuing up. We are up $5.13. That's 2%, closed at 251.52. Post-market, we seem to be even up by an additional 32 cents, 28 cents. Let's take a look at what this means on our chart. This is because of these lines that we knew that we needed to buy Tesla right here, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we knew it at the end of the day after the stock market closed. So the next day, on Thursday, we could get in. And we got in and we are happy. So these lines tell us when there's a significant move in the stock market. And by significant, I mean that the stock market always goes up and down like this. So not every move is significant, but this one was significant and we took it and we are happy. Right now, where are things going? So we still have very good volume. Look at this right here. So we are now trending, we are above 135 million shares. And on average, we used to be at 83 on average, 70, 80, and 90. So we still see a lot of volume. We like to see this. Next stop is going to be 265.32. So we have some resistance right here. We could not break over 265.32, even though we tried last December 28th, 2023. We tried to break higher, but we could not succeed. We tried the same thing October 11th. We tried the same thing. We succeeded briefly last September. And then, yeah, we had a little bit of a success last year. So it's been over a year that nobody wanted to buy Tesla stock at over 265.32. But now things are changing in the market. We had nice delivery numbers last quarter. We had an increase in energy sales. So, this is all going and changing people's outlook of Tesla. We have FSD, I think it's 12.4.2 or something like that. That is doing really well. So people are just looking at all of these clues. And when they are going to change their behavior, we are going to see the sign right here, because our lines showed the tug of war between the buyers and sellers. And when there's a break of one of those lines, it tells us that things should be continuing in that direction, in the direction of the break. So this is what we do on this channel. News are interesting, but if news don't translate in behavior, then news don't matter. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart to see how the day happened. Okay, the first candle of the day was right here, a red candle. So we could not break above 247 on the 1 hour chart. We broke it second hour, then broke back below, fourth hour also below, and then things changed. We started to go higher and we could close for good. For the last 3 hours, we have been above 247. 247. This is the channel that we have on the 1 hour chart. This is the steepness of the climb that we are in. It won't last forever. It will not last forever, of course. It will slow down at some point and then will make a bigger pattern. This is a very small bullish channel. This is a very small pattern and it won't last. It will end at some point, and then on the daily chart, we are going to see eventually. I don't know if this is going to be here. I don't know if it is going to be a little bit later, but we are going to have a move down, a consolidation / pullback. And then we are going to be able to see what is a more sustainable bullish trend. So this one, as I said, is just super small. This is almost vertical. This won't last. We have another one right here. We had another one, and the stock had started to behave according to this channel, and then it started to go super high, super fast. So, it would be possible that we would be coming back into this channel eventually. It would be really possible. So, we could be coming back, we could be getting stuck at 250 or I don't know, but coming back onto this channel before resuming is a possibility. This is what stocks do. We had that example in 2020. In 2020, we had this small little channel. It started March 2020 up to, let's say, June 2020. Nice little channel. And then things started to get exciting a little bit. We came back into it, more exciting and even more exciting. And eventually, what did happen is that we came back to that same little channel. Same one, exactly the same one. We came back to it and we continued. And then we had another extension. And then we came back into it. We came back into it for not too long a time. And then we started to break it. And then things started to get a little bit iffy. So this is what stock do. They make patterns and then they break it and then they tend to come back into it when it is a bullish pattern. So eventually this is going to happen. So we should not panic. If we see next week something like this, we should not really panic. This is just the stock coming back to one of its original bullish trend. When this happens, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. Are you going to sell when you start seeing that it wants to cave in and pocket the money right here? Let it come down a little bit so that you don't lose the asset value that you gain from 250 down to maybe 219. So that's a $30 move down. It's possible to have a $30 move down. How many shares have you bought? If you bought only one, then you suffer a $30 move down. It's only $30 that you're losing. If you bought 1,000 shares and there's a $30 move down, yes, it's the same percentage, but it's $30,000. So you see the conundrum here? Wading through a pullback at $30, that's quite easy. Leaving 30,000 on the table. I don't care who you are. If you are watching me, I'm pretty sure that you care about $30,000. This is where it's kind of all man to himself. Are you willing to try to time the move down and then a subsequent move up? This is work. This is work, and we do work on this channel. We do work. We are not afraid of work. In order to make it a little bit easier to time in the present is to switch to the 1-hour chart. If you switch on the 1-hour chart, then if you start seeing stochastic become lower than 60, this is a sign that we might be pulling back down. You can also set a point under which you are going to sell. So I was thinking myself today, if this was going to happen today, I would be selling at 238. So, I would be willing to suffer this one right here if it started to come lower than 238, preferably with a stochastic below 60. Then I was willing to keep my profit and let it come down. If it comes down good, this is perfect. Then I can pick it up, with a good stochastic, blah, 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 with a pattern break. I can pick it back up at the right price and then catch another swing. So, this is the perfect scenario. But what can sometimes happen is that when you put a stop loss at 238, let's say, then you sell, and then a couple of candles later, it goes back up. In that case, you might not even get stochastic over 60, so then you should not really get back in. But because the move is so sudden, it's normal for stochastic to lag a little bit. So this is hard because we are in the optimization phase. We are trying to optimize. We are being greedy. And when we are being greedy, it's a lot of work and there is no perfection in greed. What I have done in the past is that when I have a break, I sell, and then if it comes back, I buy back. But then what can happen is that I start to get zigzagged. This is very dangerous because, You sell here, you are happy, and you hope that it's going to come back down. It does not come back down too much. It recovers, and then you say, okay, I'm just going to get back in as if I did not enter. I'm going to lose maybe $1 here and there per share. I'm going to get back in. And then if it does it again, then you sell, and then it gets back in again. As soon as you start seeing one reversal like this, then start to be very worried, because then it means that we are coming into most likely a congestion zone, and then you should be picking up the top like this and the bottom like this, and just make a choice. You either stay or you leave until we break higher and you get in. So this is how I tend to approach it. Sometimes I do better than other times, and sometimes, I kick myself in the... We can talk about this as we go along, since I do a video every single day. So we are going to look at it every single day, and I'm going to tell you what are your opportunities, what are the opportunities that you could be looking at. But so far, so good. This is climbing. So when it climbs and it does not stop, we have no decision to make. We are going to start to make some decisions when it starts to stabilize or even come down. Take a look at the VIX. VIX pretty stable. We are happy to see this. When the VIX goes up, the stock market goes down. So we want the VIX to stay stable or even come down. Bonds, fantastic. Bonds are coming down. This should help the stock market also. Let's look at the stock indices. Stock indices, pretty good day, 0.17, but I like to see a green candle. I prefer to see a green candle, so I like to see this. S&P 500, called it yesterday. We had a break of resistance. It means that it's continuing. Nasdaq, same thing, continuing. S&P, this is a nice entry for S&P. So Apple, well, Bing, look at this. Apple, we had the break yesterday. What do we have today? Continuation. There's a little bit of resistance right here from this resistance there. So we could be slowing down a little bit. But the ultimate move is to have it go towards 250 approximately. So this is clearly possible in the next couple of weeks. Amazon, same thing, continuing. AMD, we had the break. We had the break 2 days ago. Now it's continuing. The pattern is the same. Adobe, same thing. We had the break and it's continuing. ARM, we have the break right now. So this is your time to get in, to get back in. There's some resistance that's not too far. So in terms of the potential gain, it's a little bit less. So maybe it's just a small swing. So don't swing it too much. Swing it up to that resistance level, and then you can call it quits. So, swing it until 200. Google, this one is hard to time because it's always going higher and then it goes even further. So this one is a little bit riskier because it has no precedent. We don't know what this one is going to do because the pattern, it is already at the top of the pattern. So it does not have another pattern behind like we have with Apple. We have this pattern behind. So we know that it could reach there. But Google, we don't know if it is going to continue or not. There's no precedent. Microsoft, we have a pattern, we have a pattern a little bit further away. So this one is at 515. So we know this is where it can go. Meta, boom, break there. You have a break. There's so many stuff, I cannot buy everything. I could put a little bit of money in all of these, but I prefer to concentrate on 3-4 stocks instead of spreading it around. To each his own. NVIDIA, no stochastic. This one is different than the others. Stochastic is not there, so maybe people are rotating from NVIDIA to other stocks. I don't know, but this one is not ready. And Palantir, we had the break again, 25.52. We had a false break. Right here, Tuesday, June 18th. I got it, and then I got out. So yes, I lost a little bit. Now it did it again. I did it again. I got in, but it looks like this time this is the real time. And we have some resistance at 27.53. 27.53, let me make it nicer. So 27.53 is a very important number, started to be important in 2021. If we start breaking that again, then we are launching. We are launching even more because right now we are into a congestion zone. So, it's zigzagging. But when we are going to launch, this is going to go. And then we should be expecting the same height as we have length. So the same height as length, something like this. So 37, 38. SMCI going sideways, don't touch that. SoFi, don't touch that. Let's take a look at our EV stocks. Going sideways, BYD, nothing new here. Lucid, we had the break. The break is still valid because we are pretty much at the same close that we were yesterday. So yeah, you can get in until 336. Neo battery material, nothing to do here. Neo going sideways. Navonic going sideways. Xpeng, nothing. Rivian, this one. Okay, this one is zigzagging a little bit too much. This is a good example. We are zigzagging at 14.59, which is, this is important support right here. Important support. We have support a little bit higher at 15.17. So I think I'm going to switch it to 15.17 because we are zigzagging on 14.59 right here. So it does not have the intended effect of a release. When you break a resistance, it should release the stock. But it's not releasing, so I'm going to move it to 15.17. Nouveau Monde, nothing to do here. NIM, Nikola Mining, this one wants to go somewhere, We have broken 34 cents during the day, so some people had to buy at a higher price than 34 cents. So it means that less sellers or more buyers. Bitcoin, no, disappointing Bitcoin, disappointing XRP. Silver climbing. So when we see this silver climbing, gold climbing, there's uncertainty maybe somewhere in the market. So we should be careful next week to see what is going to happen. So yeah, Tesla, we cannot complain too much. This is going very well. We have the robo-taxi thing also that is going to happen in August. This might help change people's behavior and minds about Tesla. And we have the earnings call. This one, they say it here on TradingView that it's on July 23rd. So we are going to have an interesting summer with Tesla. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk on Monday, unless you are a member, in which case we are also going to talk on Sunday, doing a Tesla Weekly Live. There we are going to take a look at the weekly chart of all of the stocks that we are looking at so that we can get a better idea of the longer term moves that we could be seeing in all these stocks. So you can join me by joining this channel. It's not very expensive. So have a great weekend, and I'm going to tell you.